Hi.
Hey, Jocelyn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, hold on one second. We're having some technical difficulties on my co-host side.
That's okay. I don't have my microphone because I'm not in my booth because I have much better lighting in here.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm so
Yeah,
happy you're here. We're just gonna roll right into it. I'm so happy you
cool.
accepted my invitation, and then I thank you for like hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to do it. I'm
This
happy to be back hanging out with you again.
I know this is like total chaos. So Gabby's missing. She's my other co-host. My other co-host, she's a wedding DJ, so
Oh
she's
man.
like she's in full wedding like
Wow.
yeah, she's like in it.
Yeah.
And then my other co-host Lloyd, who you'll meet here in a minute, he is in LA for he's been traveling from Las Vegas to LA doing he'll have to tell you about it. But so he had to like stop and rent an Audible room. I'm not even sure what that is.
Gosh.
So he's going to jump in here in a minute, hopefully.
Wow.
And LA traffic, as you know, is
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the
No,
best.
it's like probably worse than Boston traffic, which is pretty bad.
Yeah. And so I have another we have a guest co-host that is coming in from like a soccer game or something. So
My God, you guys are, this is dedication to make this happen. This is great.
it's fun, you know, it's like personally for us, it's fun because then I get to have a chance to hang out with people that I enjoy spending time with in the industry, connecting, sharing, thoughts about what we're doing and going through. And I don't know. I know you have a ton of chaos going on.
Yes, yes,
You want
yep.
to share
And
that a little bit?
yeah, I mean, so then that's part of it. So my right now my studio is right next to our in our bedroom because that's where it can fit in our very small house. And so my wife is taking a nap also
Oh,
there.
shoot.
So yeah, it's okay. So I'm here. I'm just trying to make it fit in with the family rather than making the family fit into this.
That's awesome. I like the way that you said that.
Yeah.
Now that Lloyd is coming on, we're just gonna keep rolling. And I was gonna say, like, I was remembering when I first met you. So do you remember we met when we both had, so I had auditioned for an entirely different role in a different project, and then the same director who I had connected with, we had a good rapport, and he came to me and offered an opportunity to do an entirely different project. And then that's how you and I connected, and we were kind of waiting for him to jump in, to for us to all talk, and you and I just kind of started talking. I'm like, I don't know. I felt like we just kind of connected and we were just, it was like, oh, this guy's cool.
Yeah, totally, totally. I know. Yeah, so this was I think it was on Backstage is how I got
Yeah.
it. I think that was right.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't met any of them before. I to this point I don't even remember if they found me or if I auditioned. I
Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, he said, "Oh, we're going to be doing a podcast and do you want to do it?" I was like early in my career. So it's like, if anyone offers me anything, I'm going to say yes, unless it's like horribly, like morally, difficult for me.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And so then they're like, and here's your co-host. And I was like, oh, she seems like very chill and down to earth. And then
Yeah.
I come to know that you are like super down to earth, like barefoot beach mom. And I was like, oh, that's exactly who I thought you were, which is great because you projected that so well. And I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that never took off, like, who knows? Like
I
maybe
know.
it'll come back, but I don't know.
You never know. I had a good time and it got me to meet you and connect with you
Yeah.
and I could tell like when he said he wanted to he liked talking to you and he liked your voice and then he connected me with you and he's like I think this would be a good and he I don't know. He's like I think this would be a good match or whatever. Sandy's here, Lloyd's here. It sounds like everyone's seen. I told him it was
Hi
total
guys.
chaos. I told Sandy I needed her body and she said that that costs extra. So apparently
That's
I'm paying for
that sounds so wrong out of context.
I know it does. That's why
Well,
I
we can
said it.
we can start well, I know it's recording, but we can start after this point.
No, no, that's what Sandy's here for. Sandy is she's the fun one and so is Lloyd. So
It's when.
it's a win. It's a win. It's a party. GM, so I want to know more about you. So when GM and I met, we were I don't know if we were basically brought on to host a podcast that never we even did, I think what did we record like
We
the
recorded like the pilot,
yeah.
perhaps, that he was then going to pitch to try to get investment to produce the whole thing, which I I've never been told that it's dead. So I still think it may happen. So I want to tread very carefully in like saying details because I don't
Right.
know,
Yeah, me too.
but because who knows? Like
Mhm.
maybe 2 years from now it'll be like we finally got funding.
Yeah.
But
That's
yes, we were going to co-host this podcast, and maybe this third person was going to moderate, or maybe that was just this one thing that we recorded, and we were on for like an hour and a half,
yeah,
and it was great, and I thought it went really well. That recording lives
somewhere
somewhere. I don't
in
know if
another.
anyone's ever heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was cool
Yeah.
because it was just, I don't know, it was like a cool project that it was one of those kind of things that like a specialty show on NPR that like, you would just listen to and be like, oh, this is so interesting. Like
Yeah.
it's interesting people talking about an interesting topic and
Yeah.
it was really fun. We
It was a
really
popular
vibed on
topic
it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that wasn't the start of your career. I mean, you've been doing this for a little bit. I want to know a little bit more about Jam because this is our
Yeah.
Meet Your Actor series and where we get to highlight other actors that we connected with or know or are friends with or are part of our accountability group. That's the whole thing is like, we all want to like lift each other up and support each other. And you just like taken off. Like,
Thank
I
you.
mean, you really have. You're like award winning. You're
Nominated. Not I haven't
nominated.
won
Okay,
anything yet. Yeah.
nominated
Yeah.
and I mean obviously I've come to you to talk to you about audiobooks and you do audio dramas and we talked about different projects you've been in. So t what were you doing before you became a voice actor?
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
Lloyd.
Also, hi Lloyd, good to meet you, and good to meet you, Sandy. So it's funny. I'll give you the short version.
Sure.
I'll just say I can go on and on. I'm very extroverted and I can just ramble. So please stop me.
You're in the right
Uh,
place.
yeah, I studied broadcast journalism in college. So I was doing radio, TV. Sort of halfway through college, I was like, maybe I want to get into the writing side a little more. There's a lot of big personalities in radio and TV
Hmm.
broadcasting, as you can imagine, especially when people are going on camera and, being the director on set and things like that, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm a more sort of laid back person. I guess I've gotten less laid back with age. Maybe that happens to all of us, but I think just my personality in general was like not ready for the high stress intensity. Like, okay, we're going live in three, two, one.
Yeah.
So I got into the writing thing a little more. I switched to magazine journalism, and then never worked in the field at all. As soon as I
Oh,
graduated college, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be working nights and weekends and holidays because that's like when the news happens and when the sports happens and when you have to put out all the things so that people who are home enjoying their lives can enjoy them is in evenings and weekends. And so I didn't want to have that backwards schedule. I
yeah.
wanted to have a family life someday. I know I was only like 22, but I was like, this just isn't conducive. So I became a teacher, and I taught. My very first job was an assistant teacher in an elementary Montessori school. I had never heard of Montessori school, but it was the only place that offered me a job. And actually, there were two places that offered me a job, but this one paid more. I was getting paid 9.75 an hour
Oh,
with a college degree. Yep.
yep.
Which I had earned more as a 13-year-old caddying on the golf course
Right.
than I did at my first professional job. Um, but I loved it. I went back to school, to community college, and got my teaching certificate. Became a teacher, ended up doing that for 17 years, teaching English, mostly in middle school. And
Sandy's agreeing with you. Do you want to unplug? You want to
yeah,
unmute?
I,
what? Tell
I
me.
just, well, I'm a teacher and I've been
Hey,
teaching for 17 years.
hey,
I'm a high school English teacher. So I'm like, hey,
yes, my people.
Another reason
right,
why she's here.
right.
How do you like it?
Oh,
Uh,
I love my students. I should just say that. But the policies and the politics that come with it are not as lovable.
Yeah, I hear you. That's why I'm assuming you teach in public school.
I do.
Yeah, I did that for a while, and then I said, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to teach in private school. And the one thing that is great about it is that you're free from most of that. Although there are still many challenges. One of them being more demanding parents that are also clients. And then the other thing is that you actually, it's like the only, education is the only sector, I think, where private industry pays less than public. I think it's
Right.
the only one.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
people are like, "Oh, you fancy private school? You must have you've been doing great." It's like, no, you get paid like $30,000 less a year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Oh, that's
true.
interesting. Huh.
yeah. So
Lloyd's also in the education industry, well, industry sector
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
The only
I,
non
I I work in marketing, but it's funny because I talk to Sandy so much about
the schools.
just maybe just go to
Grievances.
Costco or Target.
Oh, Costco, don't get me started. I'll take over the whole podcast about
Well,
my
Oh
love for
my.
Costco.
G
it was great.
GM made the move, you guys. Like so I'll let him finish off because like you made the move, right? You did the thing. You left teaching.
I left teaching. Yeah, so I taught 17 years. I'll tell you one of the things, this didn't make me leave, but not every private school will give teachers like a break on tuition for their kids. Some do, some don't. Mine didn't. And that didn't cause me to go. But what it did was it didn't give me really a reason to stay. And so my daughter, my wife, and it had our daughter during the pandemic. And things were, I mean, that it was an inflection point, I think, for a lot of people, the
Yeah,
pandemic in terms of career, life, values, whatever.
everything. Yeah.
And so for us, I started thinking, I really need a creative outlet. So part-time while I was teaching, I started writing trivia. A friend of mine owns a trivia company in Boston. They do a lot of corporate events, like holiday parties,
Very cool.
university events. It's really cool. And they do like board game speed dating at like bars and cafes and like food halls, things like that. It's really cool. So he's a friend, a personal friend. So I started writing his trivia questions. I did that for about 2 years. And then I started thinking, it didn't pay great, but it was fun. And I started thinking, okay, well, I need to do something that I didn't realize this was the end of my teaching career. But I started like, there are fun parts and annoying parts to every job, right? And for
Totally.
a long time, the fun parts of teaching were great. And the annoying parts, you tolerate, whatever. And around about the pandemic, the annoying parts started getting so annoying that they outweighed the fun parts by a lot, right? The balance just did that. And I don't know
Yeah.
why. Maybe I had done it for almost 2 decades. I don't know why. Maybe because now I was a dad, I felt different. Whatever it was, I just felt I was getting itchy feet. And I was like, you know what? We're going to apply to school because I would love my daughter to go to this school, which I love. I put my heart and soul into, I really believed in. And we applied for the, financial aid because we did that and we didn't get it. And so at that point, I was like, I guess there's nothing keeping me here.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like, oh, well, and now I'm mad and we're leaving. It was just like, I mean, I could go back.
Yeah.
There's not really any incentive to do so. Um,
Right.
and at that point, she was like 2, and so she's getting sick all the time, and in her like yeah,
Yeah.
toddler school, and it was just really hard because teachers, as you guys know, the schedule is nice, but it's not flexible. And
No.
Mm-mm.
so anytime I had to be out to be with her, because my wife has, she's an attorney, so she has a job that she can't really miss. So it's really down to me
Mm.
to like be the emergency caretaker. And it's like 2 hours of phone calls to arrange everything every time I had to be out. It was terrible. So I switched and I said, I tried to get into voice acting actually back in 2008. I coached, I made a commercial demo like at a professional sound studio in Tucson, Arizona, where I used to live.
Wow.
Um, but I didn't have the coaching at that time. I didn't have the mentorship like afterwards.
Mm.
So they were like, just reach out to production companies. And I was like, what does that mean?
Right. Yeah.
How do I do that? And at that point, it was like you've got a CD and like a piece of cardstock with rates on it. And they were like, go drive to a production company or mail it and give it to them. And I was like, what does it even mean? Like I was
Yeah.
24. I was like, I'm gonna hand them a CD and they're gonna hire me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a sense of how the business side of it worked at all. I never took a business class in my life, never took an
Right.
elective in business, nothing. So I felt really adrift. And I do feel like I might have like run into one of those like demo mills, like
Yeah.
do 6 sessions and get a demo. And in voice acting, that's really looked down upon by a
Sure.
lot of people, which, I didn't know this was 2008. So, so I kind of came back to it. And plus, this was 2008. The financial crisis happened. Everyone was getting fired. Nobody was hiring, voice talent, I don't think. And I didn't have the entrepreneurial sh chops to like find the opportunity in that at
Right.
24 years old. So I put it on the shelf for a long time. I lived in Spain. I taught English for a year over there. I
Wow.
took a year off to kind of knock about and just travel around the world because I thought if I don't, if I don't do this now, I'm going to wish that I had. So I got to see a lot of the world for a year, which was great. And then I came back to it at 39 after my daughter didn't get financial aid for the school. And I was like, why not? And I talked to my wife and we sat down and had a serious conversation and said, like, what if I made $0 for a year? What if I made $0 for 2 years? And it was like, well, it's not great, but we were not going to be out on the street. And we could probably survive 2 years.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, so thankfully, I mean, I love her so much and she's so kind and supportive of this. Like, at 39, I'm like, I'm going to quit my job and become an actor. And like, not one of those young, attractive ones either. Like, just, and so I did. And, the first 2 years are pretty lean. I made more than $0, but it wasn't much. Yeah, in year three, things just took off.
Yeah.
And I don't know why or how or what I attribute that to, but a lot of hard work. And I feel very lucky now to, be doing well. And I mean, I hope it continues.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I think all of the things that you just said are so relatable to so many people, all of us here, I believe, and like
Oh
anyone
yeah.
else that's like listening. Because I mean, we all are sort of in that like first 5 years of our career, and it's hard. It's
Yeah.
not as easy as you think it's going to be. I mean, and I remember a long time ago, my husband going when radio left me, he's like, well, just do voiceover. I'm like, well, how do I just do voiceover? What are you
Just,
talking about? Like, I'm
just
just going to do it. Just do it. It's fine. And then and then eventually it came back to me, it came back around and, it was a natural progression, but it's still like hard work, even after training and getting the demo and doing all the things and the marketing. And like you said, it's a lot of hard work, sweat, tears, blood, money, luck, timing.
Yeah, it's funny. We have some neighbors right across the street. They're actually part of our Dungeons and Dragons group, which is a big hobby of mine. So I'm the DM and they're
Good
they're
for
players.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good
Thanks.
for
Lloyd
you.
relates to
Thanks.
that.
I love it. So they're in
Well,
a D&D group. They're both, I think, 30, maybe 31.
Yeah.
And I'm 42. So they're much different stage of life than me and my wife. And so they had a Halloween party, and so I went to their house, and it was, a lot of young single people, just like chatting. And I'm like, I'm the old neighbor, like, hi. But but like like it came out like, oh, it's a voice actor, and oh, I'm in, I'm gonna be in that. There's a voice mod coming out any day now for Stardew Valley. This woman who's a computer programmer programmed voices into the game Stardew Valley, and she's releasing it this fall as a playable game that anyone can download and play. Stardew Valley with voice. It's called Stardew Voices, and so I got to play Harvey. I don't know if you've played Stardew Valley, but so I'm Harvey, and like
Oh,
that's
wow.
I know it's not
Really
like the
cool.
official thing. Was cool, and so for people of that generation, they're like, "Wow, you're a character in Stardew Valley. It's amazing. It's so cool. I have so many questions." And when you talk to people and they find out you're a voice actor, they're always like, "This is so cool. I want to know more about it." And I came home and I talked to my wife and I was like, it's like funny that you become like this weird minor celebrity sometimes in some circles. And I was like, but
Yeah.
like it's funny because it's so unglamorous in the day
Yeah.
to day. And my wife was like, I'm just gonna stop you right there. She's like, I live with you. I know it's not glamorous.
Yeah.
Like you're right.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not. It's not. One genre besides video games though that you do focus on are audiobooks, which I think is like you have to really love. I mean, Sandy and I've talked about this before. I think she was motivated to get into voiceover too to do audiobooks. And
I
everyone always
was.
says, yeah, everyone's always kind of like, "Oh, just do audiobooks, right? Like it's easy, just get into it." And it's like, yeah, no. Yeah.
No, it's not. There's so much
Well,
to it.
I mean, as a fellow English teacher, you know you must be predisposed to it. Like you must have a leg
Mm.
up on other people who are interested.
Fair, fair. I will say that. Yes.
How far have you gotten in your journey into audio?
With audiobooks, no, I haven't done
Yeah.
any because it's just there's okay, I am not that type A teacher. I run on chaos. I am an agent of chaos. My lessons are on post-it notes around the room. And so with audiobooks, you have to be organized. You have to remember every character, every voice you're doing and not lose track through the whole book. Reading, I've got that.
Yeah.
Organization, I suck. So
Gotcha.
I have not attempted it.
I can help you with that. I am
Yeah.
very organized and I can help you with if you get those systems. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, so if you are serious and you want to, need some organizational help, I'm your guy. That's
I'll
a strength
remember
of mine.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Very
But
organized. But you love audiobooks and you've done really, really well in this genre. And I feel like it's interesting because it's like, did you set out to do audiobooks or was that just something that like because you're a teacher that you fell into it,
I mean, I going into voice
gravitated towards
acting,
it?
I knew that audiobooks would be a strength of mine. Like I've
Okay.
always been able to read aloud and capture people's attention. Like as a teacher, if I read aloud to a group of 25 to 30 middle schoolers, they would be like silent and listening. And I was
Wow.
like, this is amazing. Like I guess I didn't realize how great it was for a while.
Yeah.
But like I knew that I could tell a story and get people to listen, and that was just a thing I could do. And so I knew going into voice acting as like I need to focus on audiobooks first because I know I can be successful in it. And and I felt at the time, and I didn't feel like this was, hubris or anything. I felt just factual about it. Like I feel like I'm as good as anyone who's narrating audiobooks. Like, Scott Brick or Daniel Henning or Hillary Huber, any of those people. And I know objectively I'm not as good as those people. Like, I just want to get that out of the way. I'm not. But I felt like I was. Like I felt like all I need is the right coaching, the tweaking, and the experience. And I feel like I can get there. And I didn't have a lot of confidence in other areas of voiceover because, like, commercials or promos or video games, animation is so competitive and it's
Yeah.
so hard to get hired for anything. And I just didn't know, like, I know I've got a good voice, like, but so does everybody,
Yeah.
because that's why they're in voiceover. Either they're a great actor or they've got a great voice or both. But I felt like I could be really competitive in audiobooks. And so from the beginning, I didn't feel intimidated. I felt like I belonged.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's just a product of being, I guess I was 39 at the time and like having more confidence than I did when I was in my mid 20s. Like, I don't know, does anyone want to pay me money to talk? Um, but I was like, I just treated it like I belonged in every room. And I feel like that helped me. I don't know in what way it helped me, but I feel like it helped me get to where I am.
And everything. I think that that's huge right there because I think most of us struggle with confidence, I think sometimes, like cuz you are the product, and I thought about this morning. I'm walking down the street and I'm like I saw someone, I'm like, gosh, they're a realtor. They're walking down the street. They're very confident in putting that sign in, and then they jumped in their car, and I was like, gosh, that person seems really confident. I wonder if I would probably hire them to be my realtor. And I was thinking, like, if I am not confident or I don't feel confident, why would I trust me? So that's huge to have that, you know.
I think it is. I think it goes a lot farther than people think. And
Yes,
you know that you need to have like a body of work to back that up at some point,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And so that for me, I think that's why the first 2 years are pretty lean is because you work on a project and then it might be like 6 months before it comes out. So you're like, I can't even tell people about this to try to get new work because it's not public yet. So
Yeah.
like, how do I gotta keep just wait? Like
Yeah.
I just did this awesome thing. And so it just takes a while to like build that momentum.
Hmm.
Um, but
Yeah.
if you're patient and you can survive, and if you, luckily, I have a partner who has a full-time job, like
Right.
that's helpful. That really
Yeah.
helps, like,
Totally.
gosh, I just don't know if, people who are like a creative and a creative or an actor married to an actor, I don't know how you do it. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like
I don't.
like Nate, one of our favorite comedians is Nate Bargatze, and he said in every relationship there's like a creative dreamer
Hmm.
and someone who hates fun. And I'm like, yeah,
That's my marriage.
that's
Oh
Right
my.
there.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
And I was like, oh, that's it. I'm the creative dreamer, and Liz hates fun, but she's really good at being my supportive spouse and supporting the family, and I love her, and it's great, and I think it works really well for us.
She loves you, so then
She
therefore,
loves fun. She
yeah,
loves fun. It's just it's
yeah.
a funny way to put it.
It's such a funny way to put it. Gabby, you
I
have a
have a
question.
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 I
I
Oh,
know.
do.
I
Hi,
Hi,
forgot.
Gabby.
I'm Gabby. By the way, I'm so sorry I'm late.
No, it's fine. It's good to meet
Um,
you.
Good to meet you too.
Take this off.
Okay, so my question is, you got into audiobooks. What did it take? Did it take you a long time to become good at editing them, or like did you do that on your own?
Great question. So, my first few books I edited on my own because I didn't get paid enough to outsource it. And I knew it was a thing I had to learn. And I'm like pretty good with tech. And when I worked in radio in college and broadcasting and stuff, I always would work as the engineer, with like the big mixer board with all the sliders. And
Hmm.
so I was good at that. People would call into the show and I'd like put them on hold and patch them through the system. So like I could do all that stuff. Um, so I felt like I just need to learn how to do it. And I did. That said, actually last week I went back and listened to some old clips of mine from my first year and like boy they are bad. Like like not only is the acting not so good, but the sound quality is terrible. It's like how did anyone hire me like if that was the product? I'm baffled.
Your
Uh
confidence.
Yes,
that's
your
it. It must
confidence.
misplaced confidence. Yeah.
Misplaced confidence.
So, but you learn more the more you go on, and I've invested in like better recording software and better editing software, better microphone, all the things that you have, you build brick by brick as you go, right?
Hmm.
And I've gotten better, and now I've gotten to the point where this year, for the first time, I have started outsourcing my editing. So I've started hiring an engineer and a proofer because at the
Wow.
beginning I was like, I'm doing one audiobook like a month. No one's hiring me for anything else. Like I recorded it. And now in the evenings, my wife and I are sitting around folding laundry. I'm like, I'll just listen to the book and like make sure I didn't miss any words and I'll read along. And I'm like, I don't have time for that now.
Yeah.
Like I just pay someone to do it. And it's been a great choice and something that I'm lucky I can do, but also something that I'm like, man, I should have done this a while ago, even if it costs money, because it's just
Yeah.
it can be painstaking, and some people love doing it, and good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's amazing. When I did an audiobook, I was lucky that the producer and the director and the writer, they just wanted me to record it and just like take a lop off the ends and then send it. Like I did nothing. Like
yeah.
that's it.
Was
Yeah.
it for a publisher?
No, it was well, I actually had auditioned through the place that we train, and it was a client and someone that knew,
Oh,
yeah, in our community. And so it was for a book. And
great.
it was supposed to be for like a 4-book series, and I've only done book one and it hasn't even launched. So again, like, you do these projects that you're just kind of like, when is it gonna be when? Like I don't know. And I've always kept in touch with the with them. It's a couple, and they're like, yeah, we have some things going on, maybe, next month, and
Yeah,
it happens. But
it happens.
that was like my audiobook experience. Actually, I'm sorry, I did another audiobook and I did a chapter, and I called you about it because I was like,
Yes.
I don't know if I can do the rates for this. Like, I don't even know what this is all about. That's the hardest part, is trying to figure out the stupid rates for everything and
Yeah.
making sure that you're getting paid
Yeah.
correctly. So
Yeah.
I did like a 17-minute chapter, and, it took me an hour to read the chapter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took me so
Yeah.
much longer, and I only got paid for 17 minutes. That's
Right. Well,
finished
but that's
minutes.
how audiobooks work.
This is like painstakingly,
Yeah.
like, what?
Right. And so, right, because audiobooks are paid by finished hour, like, right, you need the rates to be high enough that it's worth it to
Yeah.
do that. And also, for me, I was like, I also need to do commercial work and I need to do, because you do on-camera stuff too, right? You do
I do. Yeah,
commercial
I do.
stuff.
Yeah, I do commercial and
The
e-learning.
amount, I don't know about on screen, but at least for voiceover, like the amount you can get paid in an hour what you get paid in a week for an audiobook.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Yeah. But you're doing commercials, you do e-learning, you're doing corporate narration and and I think you were nominated for an award. Was it for an audiobook or was it for your corporate narration
It was for an audio drama.
audio drama?
Yeah.
I love audio dramas. Lloyd also has done audio dramas too.
Oh,
And
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes, I've done an audio drama it's funny, an audio drama and an audio book, both just one.
And your
Well,
thoughts?
well, yeah.
Uh, the book, and also I don't know how loud I can talk because I am in a library. The book was an experience. I will say that. I I I still think about doing audiobooks. Like I would like to do audiobooks. That book specifically was one that was it was like a self-help religious kind of strange thing. There was no intent for distribution. It was a commission for the author. Which is a whole thing. But I didn't know going in how much to get paid for it, and so I gave them a number, and I messaged someone I know who does audiobooks primarily, and they messaged me about 20 minutes later saying, double that number or tell them no. And I was like, well, I already sent them the email, so I guess I'm doing it for half as
Oh,
much as I should. Um,
it's hard.
it was I mean, you guys, Gabby, Jaws, Sandy, you guys all were there for my rants in WhatsApp.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at the
Your
end of the
midnight
day,
rants.
I would send to our group chat, this is what Lloyd learned about audiobooks today.
I do remember that. I remember that rant.
You needed to talk to
Um,
GM because GM is very
Yes.
versed in understanding like audiobooks from like A to Z at this point.
I mean, it's been a process, but yeah, like I learned a lot quickly because, yeah. So my first book, because I needed to have a book under my belt, I needed to prove that I could do it. So my first book, I get paid $100 per finished hour, which is terrible. That's like way under scale. That's like if you, like you said, it's about 2 to 3 hours to read every hour of book. Plus that one I edited and I proofed it too. So by the time I was done, it's probably, and this is a good trivia question, like it's probably 5 to 6 hours of work per hour of book,
Yeah.
right? That's about the ratio. So by the time I was done, I was getting paid like $15 to $20 an hour, which is basically minimum wage,
Hmm.
just above minimum wage to do this, what's supposedly like a professional artistic venture,
Yeah.
like that's terrible. But I like that's how much I got paid because I needed something.
Hmm.
Um,
right.
and then my second book I did for royalty share only, which means
That
I
sounds
didn't get
terrible.
paid anything, and I
Yeah.
was just getting paid a couple bucks every time they sold a book. I think to this day it sold 20 copies in 4 years.
Wow.
So,
That's hard to
so that those are
swallow.
my first two books, but since that, everything else has been much better. But
Yeah.
those are the first two, and like I learned a lot from both of those. One
Yeah.
thing I learned was don't accept $100 per finished hour, and the second thing for me is like if you're gonna accept royalty share, do your homework and see if the book's gonna sell first.
Yeah.
And there are ways that you can figure out probabilities. You can never be sure, obviously, but I was like, I don't
Interesting.
know. Like someone wants to hire me, I'll take it
Yeah.
because I was new.
I think
Yeah.
we've all been there before. I
Yeah.
think I've
Yeah.
shared a
Definitely.
couple different times where I've gotten myself involved in a project and I'm like, they paid me $200 and it's like, yeah, you should have been paid 2000.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you're new, it's like hard, you're just trying to figure things out. You're trying to build a book of work. You're trying to get yourself out there. You're trying to learn, I mean, getting the coaching, getting the demo, it's like literally climbing the giant ladder on the high dive and then getting on the board and walking. And then it's like the rest of it is jumping into the water and swimming, like that's my analogy. Like, and you have to keep swimming and you have to keep going because
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah.
I have
So
a question.
yeah,
Sorry, quick
go
question.
ahead.
Which one has been your favorite project?
Yeah,
My favorite project,
Yeah,
like audiobooks or anything.
audiobooks. Oh,
Um,
actually,
both.
audiobooks and then both. Yeah.
Yeah.
so my favorite, so maybe my favorite project happened just this summer. So I got approached by Simon and Schuster for the first time, who I've
Wow.
been wanting to work with for
Wow.
years, and I've been
Congratulations.
thank
Yeah.
you. I've been in touch with a couple of their producers for the last 2 years, just, checking in every once in a while, getting to know them, over email and stuff. I'd never met anyone in person. And most of the time you don't hear back. And it's actually one of the things that I do is if I'm emailing a producer, I will usually say in my email, no need to write back because I don't want them
Oh.
to feel pressured like that they need to respond because I know they're super busy. And so I usually didn't hear anything back. But this summer they contacted me actually while I was camping with my family over 4th of July, and they're like, "We want to hire you for this book. Are you interested?" And I was like, from the tent, I was like, "Oh my, yes, please!" Like right away. But then I like read the email and I was like, "Yes, I believe I can fit that in. Let me check my schedule." But inside I was like quivering. So they had me. It's out now, so I can tell you it's a book. It's like a 500 something page nonfiction that is by this guy named Keith Ammann, and he wrote several books. He's like a big dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons, like a dungeon master educator. And so
Hmm.
he'll
Okay.
teach people how to like run better D&D games and like how to make better
Wow.
monsters and how to like make better encounters and make it more engaging and make it more fun so that it's not like an old school 1980s, slog through just like fights that take 4 hours. Like, how do you make it interesting? And there's a bunch of guys that do things like this. I will name drop like Matt Colville and Brendan Lee Mulligan and obviously Matt Mercer and people like this who are good DMs. And Keith Ammann really breaks it down. And so he wrote this book called Making Enemies that they wanted me to narrate. And so I narrated this book, and it's all about how to create a monster. Like, how do you
Mm.
create an engaging monster? And furthermore, what is a monster?
Yeah.
And how do you differentiate it from just like a person? And it went into like philosophy, it went into like historical, like religions and like world beliefs throughout history of what monsters were. And then it went into like the mechanics of how you create one that's engaging and actually fun and not just like this thing that we have to fight and we don't know why we're fighting it. And so I got to go in the booth like basically every day for a month and just like read about D&D, which is like one of my favorite hobbies since I was a kid. And
Wow.
it was just so much. I mean, it was like it's just joyful. It was just joyful to get in the booth every day and be like just reading about stuff that I would pay to read the book, and instead
Yeah.
I got paid to do it. So that was
That is
great.
You
amazing.
got paid to
I
voice
want you
it.
to know that I will be listening to this book.
Uh, yeah, thank you. Please leave a review if you.
Yeah, absolutely.
GM is the best. Whoever voiced this was the best person ever.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, don't do that.
I have to ask, this is kind of off topic. Are you a Dropout Dimension 20 fan?
Big fan.
Okay, I went to Dimension 20 live last weekend because they were in Vegas, and it was so good. It
That
was so
sounds
good.
amazing.
I
Tell
have
me more.
I have no idea what you guys are
Oh,
talking
it
about.
was Starstruck. If you've seen Starstruck, it was Viva Las Vegas, the Battle of the Brands,
My God,
and it was 3 hours of, oh my God, the MGM Grand Garden Arena is filled with nerds right now.
that's awesome. That is so cool.
So
This guy,
much
I mean,
cosplay, and it was great.
if you got, I mean, I will just say this. If you love like poignant and funny stories, you should listen to Fantasy High it's free on YouTube, season one. I was weeping by the end of it, weeping.
It's so
It was
good.
just
Fantasy.
such wonderful storytelling. Whether or not you like role-playing games or fantasy, it is just a beautiful story about family and friendship and growing up. And it's it's just one of the most beautiful stories I've ever seen, watched,
Wrote it down.
read, played through, anything. It's just
Wow.
great.
You guys, I just saw like light shooting off of both of you because you
Yeah.
guys were just like literally lit up from the inside out, like when you
Well,
guys were talking. I love it.
okay.
I love
It's
it. You
like
actually
when
had, you had something happen to you as a voice actor and actor where you literally had the opportunity to do something that just lit you from the inside out. I mean, I had a moment where I stepped off of doing a commercial and I was like literally told Sandy, I told Lloyd, all Gabby, everyone, I was like, my heart was singing. Like literally, I'm driving home and my heart's singing. To have that, like that's more than anyone can even pay
Yeah,
you.
because you're right, because not every project is like that, right?
No,
Like some of the projects you do because you're like, this is okay. Like
I
I'm
need to
not
eat.
opposed to it, but
Yeah.
it's fine and it pays the bills and and they want me, so that feel nice to feel wanted and
Yeah.
you do it. And then, occasionally you get a project like that where I'm just like, I love every minute of this. It's
I
yeah,
love that. That's
that's
awesome.
great.
I love that. Lloyd, were you gonna say something? I feel like you had a
Oh, I'm just
question.
jealous.
Oh, okay.
I'm jealous.
Be
So
honest.
it's this
It's a
isn't a
safe
question,
space
but
here.
I have thought in my head because I don't know if Wizards of the Coast has audiobook versions of modules and stuff. But I've like, what if I just narrate? What if I took it upon myself to narrate Fizban's Treasury of Dragons and was just like, hey, pay me money for this? Probably not gonna.
Yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
could you could check it out and you could what I would do is I would send them a sample and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, here's how it might sound, you know, are you interested in collaborating? And here's my body of work and whatever." Because there's copyright stuff, so you can't actually release it on
Right.
your own, right? But a lot of times if you're pitching people whose book isn't in audio yet, yeah, include a 3 to 5 minute sample of yourself narrating and be like, because, and here's the other thing that does, is it's not just saying, hey, would you pay me to narrate it because I like it? It's like you're putting your voice in their head as maybe the first time they're hearing it in audio. So anyone else they listen to is they're going to compare it to you.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You're like, oh, I
See?
already heard this.
That's
Look at
really
that.
good.
Thinking like
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah. See right there. That's why you're where you're at and what you're doing. Like you look at it this is like you look at it as you're a creative, but you're also looking at it like a business and you're figuring out ways to market yourself and market other people and you're a connector too. Because I remember having a conversation with you about rates over an audiobook that I was like stressing out about the chapter for 17 minutes. Anyways, and you're like, you should go talk to this person. This person would be like a really great person for you to talk to, which was Tracy Lindley. And of course, like
Yeah.
I connected with her and we had her on the podcast. And she is like
Oh,
an
awesome.
amazing, yeah, she's an amazing, voice actor, just person in general, mom.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's incredible what she does.
But so okay, beyond audiobooks and audio dramas, you do docuseries, you do corporate narration. I mean, is there one I think Gabby's second part to her question was, is there another genre that you're excited about and, or something that you're proud of?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would love to do documentaries and more docuseries. I've got a bit part in one documentary that should be coming out next year. So I can't say anything about it at this point, but
Yeah,
it's great. I'm not the main narrator. That would be great. But it's going on my resume, right? Like I'm
right.
I'm I'm in it and it's going to be released and people are going to watch it and that's really cool. But to me, that's like my holy grail.
Hmm.
I would love to do kids animation. I realize that a lot of that's in studio in LA, and I live in Boston, and that's probably not feasible. It's possible. Um, Bluey, which is a show I love with young kids, was pretty much recorded remotely for the first like season and a half. Like none of the actors ever
Oh,
met each other because it was like during the pandemic and they lived far apart. And so I know it's possible. So that's maybe my other holy grail is like children's animation.
interesting.
But to do a docuseries to be like the main narrator of something on like, like
Yeah.
Nova or whatever, which is actually recorded right here in Boston, which would be amazing, would be awesome. Or, anything like that, something historical or scientific or
Yeah.
I mean, but right, everyone wants to do that. Everybody's watched, David Attenborough and Peter Coyote and Liev Schreiber and these, Sigourney Weaver narrate these documentaries and is like, that's awesome. And I would love to do more of that. I feel like it's very competitive and probably hard, as I've found, a little hard to get into, but I'm
You never
trying. I'm
know.
knocking on the doors
Yeah.
and someday.
Like I say to my son all the time, you don't say I can't do it. You just say I haven't done it yet.
Yet. Yeah,
It's
yet is a
yet.
very important
Yet
word.
is a
Yes.
very, very important word. And I think your vocal tone and your the I don't know, the everything, the richness
The
of
richness.
yeah,
Yeah.
the tone and the richness and the gravitas, I think like it's perfect for documentaries and
Thank you. Thank
docuseries.
you,
Yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And I'm on
Yeah.
my laptop mic here, so if anyone's
Oh,
listening to this,
Wow.
so if you were on your microphone, we would be like
just
just
think.
falling over.
Swooning.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, yeah, that's what about for you? I mean, as a voice actress, what's your like holy grail of things?
He's switching the tables on us, guys.
Oh
He's a
man.
true radio and I
That's
think
right. He worked in radio.
yeah, he did, yeah. And yeah, so you're hired. You can join us anytime. I think all of us have different things that we thought we set our minds out to, to accomplish in voiceover. And then I think we've all sort of evolved into doing different things and we're all in different places. For me, I never thought I'd be on air, or I'm sorry, I never thought I'd be on camera. And this is sort of kind of where I fell into things. Sandy, do you want to go next?
Oh,
She's ready
um,
to leave teaching.
that's for a whole other podcast. Um, the Holy Grail that I haven't done yet? Is that what the question is?
Yeah.
Oh, I would kind of the same. I would love to do like a children's anime, like Bluey. I love Bluey, but I still stand by that. I think Bluey's more for the parents than for the kids.
It is. Isn't that great? It's a
It,
show about parenting.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes me cry. There's certain episodes I was like, ugh.
I feel so seen.
I know, and my daughter's just like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "How could you not get this?" Like, I know what this woman feels like, or I guess this dog. I know what this dog feels like.
The
Um,
Chinese restaurant one.
oh, that one's good.
Yes, that was
God.
amazing. Oh, I
The one that
know.
gets me is the camping one
Oh, yes.
with the dog that can't speak English, and then like
Yes.
he's
Oh,
leaving.
oh,
I weep.
wept. I know.
Oh, something like that. I think is my. I think even more specifically, I would love to do an animation for like a pilot that is new and nobody knows about, and then have that blow up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just to be like part of something, I guess like grassroots, like just starting up,
Yeah.
and then have it like become something more. That would be the dream.
That's cool. That's very cool. Lloyd?
I mean, I second the last part of that with Sandy because she and I have talked about that. Um, as far as there's a company called Q Code, and I love their audio dramas. I
We've
would
talked about
love to
that.
do a Q Code audio drama, except all their stuff is always people who are already established celebrities, which is
Mm,
really annoying to
yeah,
me.
that's
You could
frustrating.
But
always be like a one-line character,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
and then you could be like, I was credited alongside, this person.
You know,
this is true.
you know what I just realized? I'm sorry. I'm gonna answer my question again. When I was watching Ozark last night and I saw the scene where the mom goes into the Walmart to get more vodka. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, because okay. Anyways, and then like a little kid, well, that's okay. A little kid comes, she's lost and thinks it's his mom, the main female character, and grabs her hand. And then the mom, the real mom, comes running around the corner and she's like, "Oh my God, I've been looking for you everywhere." I'm like, I want to be that mom. I don't want to be the main character. I just want to be the mom that lost the kid and finds my kid. And then, like a featured background. That's it. Okay. Anyways. Okay.
Hmm.
Moving on. Gabby,
I would still love to do animation. Um,
I'm
so
amongst
any type of
characters.
yes, characters. Right now I've been more focused on commercial, which has been great because it took me through this bilingual tunnel. So I've been getting hired because of my Spanish. So I'm very grateful for that. Um, but yes, I would love to do animation.
I'm amongst a bunch of character people. I love it.
I have a question about the question because Jaws, you
That's such a
mentioned an
Lloyd
on-camera
statement.
That
thing.
is.
I, I just need to make sure, were we not speaking specifically voiceover?
I don't know. Who knows what's happening
I
like
don't know.
whatever comes
Because
out of my mouth.
I would, because if we were like not speaking specifically voiceover,
Hmm.
I would love to do something on Dropout. So, and I've spent so much time in LA, it's weird.
That's where you are
I
now.
That's where I am now. I came from a class audition at Groundlings and I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it home in time. That's why I'm at the library
Oh, that's where you went today. No way. Good luck.
Yeah,
That's
and
big.
yeah, I'm excited for it. And then I have UCB level 301 class showcase tomorrow, and I'm like, I'm out here a lot.
That's great. That's great. Oh,
Yeah,
I crossed my fingers for you, man. Groundlings is huge.
yeah,
That's very cool. Very
I'm
cool.
excited.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I
But yeah,
think,
you
go
and
ahead.
me one day will play D&D with Brennan Lee Mulligan. That's the
Look,
dream.
look, I have a picture with Brennan. One day I will have a picture at a table.
Oh, you met him? That's so cool.
I met him, yeah.
That's
We
cool.
came and saw one of their shows. One of my friends and I came and saw he and Izzy a couple of years ago. And then we just started taking classes. So I've been driving up here every weekend for the past 8 weeks for his level 3 class.
You're putting
And
in
at
the
some
work,
point, I'm going to
man.
do it again for level 4.
Look at
He's
this.
in
This
Wow.
is the grind.
Vegas.
The
Yeah,
grind.
he's in
Yeah.
Vegas. Yeah, yeah. He's in Vegas, so
That's a
he can drive. Yeah.
that's far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's far, but yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are all improv too, because you used to teach for improv. You're not only an English teacher, like you're also an
Yeah.
im
Oh,
so Lloyd and Sandy both do improv. Like
Oh,
they're both
cool.
on
yes.
teams and okay, so we got D&D, we have
We're in a
improv
troop together.
teachers.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. I taught improv. Actually, I taught theater and improv for a long time in school because English teachers tend to do that. And then I also, when I lived in Tucson, there's a local bookstore out there called Bookman's, which is amazing. If you've ever been to Southern Arizona, you go to a Bookman's. And they had a community room where you could just rent it out, I think for free at the time. I don't know if this is the case anymore, but in like 2006, 7 it was. And
Six,
so I'd go
seven.
and we'd go on a Friday or Saturday night and put on an improv show like in public. And the kids slayed. They were amazing. They didn't say slay back then, and
Right.
I
probably I
love
shouldn't say it
that.
now, but they were awesome. They were so
So
funny.
funny. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so cool. And you said 6, 7. I don't know if you caught that. I probably should not be saying that either. 6, 7. Oh my God,
Did I
that's
say
I
that?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You said six,
2006,
seven.
7. I did
Six,
say
yeah.
seven.
that.
You did. I mean, I had to. I'm sorry. Like I live with a middle schooler right now and a high schooler, and yeah. So I'm bro. I'm not mom anymore. I'm like a living meme.
Well, when that excerpt from this podcast gets remixed on TikTok, I'm sure we'll all see it.
Just
Too
Sandy
funny.
in the corner doing this.
Yeah.
6, 7.
I
Six,
do it all the
seven.
time to my
I know.
students. How many slides do we need? I'm like, I don't know, 6, 7. They're like, no. I'm like, hey, you do it to me. I match
That's
energy.
great.
I'm doing it
That's
back.
There.
You got to.
That's so funny.
Oh man.
I probably wouldn't have skipped as much school if I had Sandy as a teacher or GM because like I think I probably would have stuck around
You
Yeah.
for
got to have a sense of
for
humor with
this.
teens or you're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the story and the humor there. I mean, that's like key. Well, so GM, is there anything else that you want to share with us? I know you said you have um a baby on the way, or maybe babies on the way.
2, yeah, yeah,
Nice.
twins.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
So
Congratulations.
are you
Thank
going to
you.
be outnumbered, or are we not? Do you not know, or are you just
Yeah, I mean we're gonna be outnumbered. We'll have 3, and there'll be 2 of us, and so yeah, I think it'll be great. Like you never know what life is gonna bring you, right? And so you just like we were happy with 1, and we're like maybe we'll have another one, maybe not, and then we ended up with getting
two
2.
more?
So it's pretty exciting though, and I think my wife's an only child, and so she was fine with that, but loves the idea of having siblings for our
Yeah.
daughter to play with. And so we're excited. She'll be 5.5 when they're born, so it'll be a little farther apart, but I think it'll still work out really well. And I love the idea of like they're in high school, college, in their early 20s, like having everyone come home and maybe they bring a person over who are
Yeah.
seeing, and just to have that life in the house is different. She
Hmm.
has described being an only child as kind of being like roommates with your parents.
Oh, wow.
Um, and it's fine. It's just a different relationship. And as a teacher, I've taught a lot of only kids, and they're usually very well adjusted. They're very good with adults. They're a
Hmm.
little more mature, I would say, on average. Obviously, everyone's different, but just because there's not always another kid presence at home. And so that's cool. And yet, I think the ability to have like a full life in the house is just going to be lovely.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
kind of an
cool.
old dad. Like I'm 37 when my first daughter was born. I'm 42 and twins will be born. And it's just like it's like I lived two lives. Like I lived one life as a teacher. I traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And my daughter now, she was like, "You were a teacher like my teachers?" Like she just never wasn't around when I was in that part of my life, and
Oh my
these
God.
kids won't be either. And it's like my first half of my life was one thing, and the
Yeah.
second half of my life is like totally different, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
That's so
Wow.
crazy to think about, but amazing too. That's
Yeah,
really
that's
cool.
a great age.
That's dope. I love
Yeah.
that.
And by the way, having my first was almost 5 when I had my second. And it's like having
Wow.
two firsts, and it's like and then the difference is great. And then the other two are 3 years apart. But, so last year I had one in elementary, one in middle school, and one in high school. So that was interesting. But
Yeah.
parenting itself is interesting.
Fair.
It's a challenge every day.
I mean, it's beautiful, but it's also chaos. So.
Yeah, yeah. I'm learning a lot from being a parent. Just I feel like also, Sandy, you can agree with me here that being a teacher, it's like you learn more than your students do every day.
Oh
And I
yeah,
feel,
for
right?
sure.
And I feel like as a parent, that's the same. I feel like I'm learning so much all the time.
Definitely. I
Else would I
literally,
know 6'7",
I know, right? I literally told my oldest who just moved out in August, so he's like going to be 20 in January. And I literally said to him, I'm like, I tell you things, but I'm not telling them to like put them on you. It's more like I'm sharing them with you from my experiences. Take what you want from it. This is your life. You're on your own path. I'm just here to guide you and be here to watch and cheer you on. Like that's it. And it's just interesting when you become, I'm in this part of my chapter of my life where I'm partially an empty nester. It's just, it's interesting. Okay. You guys, we are coming to the end, and Jim, I'm having so fun. I don't want to like end our
I know. I feel
conversation.
like there's so much more to talk
Yeah.
about.
We get part two. We always say that. So I have some questions, and you can choose the fun question. It's a fun round table question. Then we'll have the final question. Gabby, we kind of changed it a little bit, right? I think our
That-
final question. Okay. Okay. So Jim, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gave you 5 cards to choose from.
Let's do four.
All right. So. What is something no, I don't like that one. Can I
Okay,
choose
five. We'll do five because my daughter's five.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Uh, what is the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
Who goes first?
You, if you want to,
Me?
if it pops right in your head, or I can go. I did the planes, trains, and automobile experience in high school. I parked my car in front of a friend's house, called my dad, had the older brother actually act as the parent. I got in a car, drove to the airport, got on an airplane, and then took a train to Chicago and took a train and stayed with some people I didn't know and partied for a night and then did the reverse on the way back and showed back up at my parents' house, which I hope my kids never do ever in my
How
entire
old
life.
were you?
I was 15 or 16. Wow. And I was downtown Chicago bar hopping and not getting carded. So that was the best.
Wow.
I'm alive. All right.
Somehow.
Who wants to go next?
Hmm.
I am trying to think of something that's not going to get me in trouble later.
That
I'm trying to
that
quantify danger right now.
okay.
Like
Come on,
I
Lloyd. Lloyd's
Yeah,
I
like,
and I'm
don't
trying to pick one.
please explain danger.
yeah.
Okay, we can skip it. We can move on to the next thing.
No, I feel like we have to answer.
I was so like does scuba diving count? Because I feel
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
really dangerous.
It can be
Like
dangerous if there's sharks.
I've scuba dived and I've skydived, which are
Ooh,
both pretty dangerous.
there
But
you
like I
go.
think scuba diving, the dangerous thing I think that I did is I was probably like 25, and I went and I trained, so I was certified. But I went at this place called the Blue Hole in Belize, and one of the important things that you're supposed to do when you're scuba diving is when you're done, you're not supposed to surface too quickly. You're supposed to like you come up a little, you stay at that depth, and then you come up a little, and then you stay at that depth, So you're gradually reintroducing oxygen because air expands, right? And so if you go
Yeah,
really deep and then you go up really quickly, all the air inside of your body expands a lot, and it can like really damage your internal organs and your brain and things like that. It's very dangerous. And so I did that, but I was not as great at controlling my buoyancy as I feel like I should have been. And so also when you go up, you get lighter. So it takes more effort to stay at your next depth, right? You go up a little, all the air that you have in you expands and so
Yeah.
wants to push you higher. And so it was hard for me to sort of regulate that. And so I didn't, rocket to the surface because I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now.
Right.
But I did have the feeling like, this is way too fast. And I feel like I should stay down a little longer. And I tried, but I was running out of oxygen. And so I kind of panicked and I went up faster than I should have. And I
Wow.
felt okay, but I did have a really massive headache when I got done. And I was a little worried about it. And I went back to my hostel and I went to sleep at probably like 4 p.m. and slept until like 8 or 9 the next morning. And then I felt
Wow.
fine. Um, and to this day, I don't know like what I did, what was the state of my body at that time. Was it dangerous? Was it not dangerous? What happened? I don't know. I didn't ever get it checked out.
Yeah.
But
Your hair.
thankfully, like went back to normal the next day. But I was in my head, I was like, that could have been really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
could have been. Wow. Plus you were scuba diving and there's sharks and like other
Yeah,
dangerous animals.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's my story.
Wow. Yeah, I don't scuba
I
dive for
think
that
that
reason.
I think
Go
I
ahead.
struggle with answering the question because my brain goes to these are the potential things that could happen and did not happen to me, or because like I played football. Like football is much more dangerous than people like to admit.
Yes.
And then I was a meat cutter at Sam's Club, and I feel like if you get hazard pay, then you automatically it's dangerous.
Yep. Those
you
are two
know.
dangerous
And
things.
I ignored the winter in North Dakota pretty often. I was not a big layers or gloves person.
In North
Also
Dakota,
dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We're
yeah.
glad you're here, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Sandy, did you come up with one that is
I have so many, but nothing that I can disclose because
okay?
of
You,
unsavory, illegal activities.
all right, you get a
Um,
pass.
but I would say that probably the dumbest thing I've done that was
Oh,
dangerous was when I was very, very little. Do you remember those old life like raft? What are they called? Those old tubes, a lifesaver, like
inner
that
yeah.
you throw
tubes.
out.
Inner tubes, yeah.
But like you see them like hanging at the pool to like save
Oh,
someone's
like
Oh
life.
yeah.
Baywatch, like the Baywatch
Yeah,
thing.
but
Yeah,
a
the
little
orange and
circle.
white
But
ones.
but
Yeah.
they're circle. They're like a
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
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 My dad was not paying attention to me. I was like 4 in a pool, and I thought it would be really funny to stick my arms through like the ropes and my legs and like float on it. And then there was a part of the pool that had like a filter thing that kind of pushed you, and when it pushed me, it flipped me over. So I was stuck, like tied up on
Oh
this
no.
tube, and I couldn't flip myself over. And my dad, being my dad, wasn't paying attention to me, so I almost drowned.
Oh my
And that was a
gosh.
pretty stupid, dangerous thing to
That
do. The
is.
lifesaver almost killed me. So
Wow.
I live in irony, I guess. But that's
Only
Happy you're
that's
Sandy.
the
here.
only one I feel
Safe.
safe to say on the internet.
How did you get out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, by some sheer luck, I managed to flip myself back over, and I was like gasping, choking, crying. My dad's like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I almost died. You didn't even pay attention to me." It's like, "Why were you doing that?" I'm like, "Okay, this is my fault. Like, you're the adult. You're supposed to watch me."
That's that's
Oh my
that's
God.
kind of like the
Pretty scary.
80s. That's how like things happen. Like
80s parenting.
go
Yeah.
outside. I'm thirsty. Drink something, find it in a
Find the
hose.
hose.
Yeah.
Don't come back till the lights come on.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby, before we wind things down,
I
okay,
I have
do you want to pass?
many as well. But no, something that I also kind of dumb and stupid and dangerous was I went out hiking in Vegas, but like at 10 o'clock at night when you're not supposed to
There's like mountain
with
lions.
friends. It was a
In
group of
mountains?
friends of us, and we were like, yeah, let's go. And so we went, and so we're all climbing up. We got to the top. It was fine. But on the way down, I started to climb down, and somebody, because it was so dark, didn't see where I was. And so they were coming down like above me, and they kicked over a rock, which hit my finger. And it completely like cut part of my finger.
Ooh.
I couldn't move it, like I couldn't bend it. and that I had to hide that from my parents
Yeah,
because
you
Oh
As your
my.
fingers just flopping.
I said I was just gonna go over a friend's house and we
Yeah.
were just gonna watch TV.
We're
So
all lucky to be alive right now.
yeah.
Yes.
And we hope that all of our kids are angels and don't do anything terrible.
My gosh.
Mm.
As I had, yeah. Anyways, I won't share the conversation I had with my 20-year-old, but I was like, just there's some things that I have, rules about. I have three rules, and and I'm like the most laid back parent. I'm like, I have three rules. Just don't break them. Just go with it, and just stay alive. Pro,
Yeah, I'm like, I know, obviously having taught middle school, like I know that the kids are going to change, but like not knowing your kid in the future, like you don't know what they're going to turn
I
into. I'm like,
know.
that's not going to be her. But like I know that it will
But
be.
it
But
could
like
be. It could
I
be.
can't envision it now because it hasn't
Yeah.
happened yet.
Well, it's interesting because I did have a conversation with my oldest son, and I'll just say it really quickly, where he was like, "Yeah, I don't really enjoy drinking." He's like, I was like, "Wow, it's really cool that you're confident and comfortable in your skin." He's like, "Yeah, and I have friends going out to clubs, and I went one time because I was curious, but I actually just really don't like that." And I'm like, "No, that's pretty cool," because I always felt pressure, social pressure to do everything everyone else was doing when I was growing up, and I was like, "That's really cool that you feel so comfortable and confident in your own skin to make these choices for yourself, and that you know what you want," and which is interesting. But my middle, I'm in trouble. I know he's always yeah. I already know I'm in trouble, but that's okay. Every kid is different,
Yep, they
when you're
are.
just like in voiceover, like every project and director and anyone you come in contact with is everything is always different and interesting, and it can go really really good or really really bad. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's art, right? It's all like it's not live art, but right? It's all who knows what's going to happen in a creative process,
yeah,
like
I mean,
raising kids
Yeah.
or doing whatever. Yeah.
yeah. Well, Jim, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you
And
Yes.
so much for having
You. Thank you
me.
for
we
being
we
here.
Thank
always have
you.
the same question. It's always like, what are you the most proud of? But we already kind of know what you're probably going to say, and you can answer it if you'd like to. But I don't know, Gabby, what should what should we say? Like our final question should be, I don't know. What do you think it should be now? Or maybe Jam can make up a new one for us because you're like the trivia question creator. Like, what would be like a final question? Because normally we're like, what are you most proud of? But usually every parent's like, my kids.
My
My
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if we just say saying your family or your kid is not allowed, then I can answer it.
Okay, you want to do
Okay.
that? Okay,
Okay.
Right?
all right.
That I think I'm most proud of the career transition that I've made because at 39 on the verge of 40, I just felt like becoming an actor is like something that like young and attractive people tend to do. And I'm like a 39-year-old dad, like gonna become an actor, a remote actor.
Yeah.
Like it just seems like a terrible decision. Like any way you slice it is like, why would you do that? And I credit my wife for having the faith in me to, give me the long enough leash to like and time, you know what I mean, to like
Yeah.
really build it up and have made it into what has is now a career that has somehow turned into a full-time job over this past year.
Nice.
So I'm really proud of that because I didn't know anything about business. I've learned everything like build the plane as I fly it. And I think
I love
that's
that.
not only because I'm doing it, but because I think it sets like I'm going to bring my kid into this, but I think it sets a good lesson, for my kids someday to like, well, like when I talk to them about it, because I think especially, you have Jocelyn kids at that age where they're like, what am I going to do? What should I major in? What should my job be? And I think we all as a humanity freak out about that
Mm-hmm.
and feel like we need to make a decision. And if we don't, we're falling behind. And I think it really doesn't matter. Like you can
Mm-hmm.
reinvent yourself and that's okay. And like,
Yes.
most people don't do what they studied in college and some do. And you can always go to get another degree or get an associate's or you can, who can, it doesn't matter. Like as long as you have a work ethic, like it's those soft skills are really important, like a work ethic and like a curiosity and a willingness to learn and adapt and a willingness to fail. Like these are the things that are important that are going to get you successful. So I'm proud of that because I did fail for a while. I
Yeah.
quit everything the first year a voiceover, I made $690. Technically it was 6 months, but that was my first year. I made $690. I was
Yeah.
like, this is not sustainable at all.
Yeah. I feel that.
You
I feel
can't,
that.
and so like, but yeah, so I'm proud of that. Sorry, I'm rambling, but I'm
No,
proud of
you're
that
good.
No.
because like, you know, I think also people tend to get more conservative with age. I'm not talking like politically, but just you tend to take fewer risks, as you get older.
Hmm.
And I think it's okay to allow yourself to take those risks if it's
Yeah.
something that you really want.
Yeah.
So,
I love everything that you said, and we could probably talk for another hour on it. And I love that you brought that up. You can just continuously reinvent yourself. I do have a college age kid, and I told him, find something that you love to do, get an education behind it, and then find a company that's going to pay you to do what you love, and then do other additional things that you love on the side too.
right. And that's
Like
going to sound
multiple
very
things.
overwhelming to a 20-year-old, and it might be. And you might not figure that out until you're well into your 30s, and
Yeah,
that's okay,
exactly.
right?
Yep, exactly. Sandy, Sandy, Sandy. I
What?
hope you,
What? What?
I hope you heard all
What?
those words, and I'm so glad that your body was here. Thank you for letting us use it.
I'll send you my bill. I take
Okay.
Venmo.
GM, how can anyone find you, if they want to connect with you or talk to you or, this was a cool conversation and
Thank you.
yeah.
I appreciate that. So I am findable through my website, which is www.gmhakim.com. That's GMHAKIM as in mom.com. And all my social media is on there. My email address is on there. My phone number is on there. I mean, I don't know why people don't really call anymore, but all my stuff is through my website. So be
Awesome.
happy if anyone reached out. I'm pretty friendly, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Yes,
Thank
very
you
much.
guys
Thank you
Thank
so
for
you.
much
having
for
me.
having me. I really enjoyed meeting all of you, and let's not let this be the last time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we have
Yeah.
to have a part two.
Yeah. I'm ending here, but I'm not